Loading snacks.
At the show the other night, right, when you were performing, you came out and you talked about always wanting to come to Otakon.
Yes.
But never having had the opportunity to do so. So like now on a personal level, how does performing somewhere like here at Otakon differ from performing at like American Song Contest?
I mean, like, American Song Contest, like, of course it was like a huge contest for literally all of America and the territories, but that means it's like a broad, you know, there's a really broad umbrella of music that could have been shown there with people with various interests, of course.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a great honor to perform for that kind of demographic. But here at Otakon, I feel like there's a very large J-pop, K-pop influence amongst the attendees.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to like specifically perform for that kind of crowd because the commotion is just wild. And even people that aren't necessarily maybe my fan brought like different group K-pop lights to cheer us on for the night. So it was really cool to see all that.
Yeah. So Shinee was a thing in my household. For
Oh,
quite
hell
some
yeah.
time, okay. But when you, like, what criteria do you specifically look for, like personally, when you choose a bias, right, for yourself, and is it different now that you're an idol?
Oh!
In what you're looking for?
That's a good question, actually. I mean, back in the day of my youth, when I was but a wee K-pop fan, I mean, I typically, as a dancer, I really looked for like the members who were the main dancers, because like, I love performance, especially dance, so anybody that really captured my attention on stage, not just vocally or visually, but just with how people move. I've always been fascinated with dancers.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's why I really respect someone like Taemin from Shinee, of course. So I mean, people like that really captivate me whenever I look at a new group or look at a comeback stage. I'm like, dang, that person knows how to move. Props to them, kudos to them. But now that I'm in the industry, I don't know, I feel like whenever like new groups come out and like I see their music videos or I meet them at a music show and I see them perform live, I think I still look at them with the same eyes though, because I really respect really good dancers.
Sure.
So I think it's still a dancing bias for me, yeah.
Okay. Dead or alive, who is like the dream collaboration for you?
Oh,
Any genre, any time frame again, dead or alive?
man, that's a hard question because there are so many artists that I love and respect and I love their music. But now I'm thinking, wait, would I mesh well with them if we were to collab? Shoot, I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna say this because it's just, but I'm a really big David Bowie fan. I love David Bowie. Like, I own so many of his vinyls. I collect his vinyls and everything. I mean, I literally bought the last vinyl for Black Star, the album that came out right as he passed.
Yeah.
I made sure I got that like immediately. And like anytime there's like vintage stores or record stores, I always look for David Bowie stuff to buy. I mean, seeing like the creative and visual genius he was as an artist, given the whole Ziggy Stardust thing he did as well, and then plus his acting career, I mean, the man was so talented. I think it would have been cool to somehow have manifested an AleXa David Bowie collab, but you know, we'll see what happens in heaven later whenever I'm gone. But listening God, yeah.
I like it. Considering your dance background, I've been seeing there are a lot of choreographers, Sienna Lalau, Bailey Sock, who are getting heavily involved in choreographing for K-pop specifically. Are there choreographers that you specifically want to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
Ooh. I mean, there are a lot of dancers that I really respect. Like, I really love Bailey Sock. I love her. She's so young and so talented.
Yeah.
Sean Liu's another one. I mean, I know that he's done some work with K-pop as well, which is really nice. Let's see. I actually have a friend in Korea who's a dancer, but she's kind of up and coming as a choreographer. Her name is Taryn Chang. She did part of NCT Dream's Beatbox, which is really cool. She also did work for Icon recently. Let's see. But honestly speaking, after working with House of Sam for American Song Contest, I would love for them to choreograph to come back for me. Like, I would love nothing more to have them like put their hand in the pot, stir it around, throw some glitter in it, make it great. So yeah, House of Sam.
Awesome. When it comes to developing a concept, right, as you get ready for a comeback, how involved do you get to be personally in that? Does your team, is it all collaborative, or do you kind of make a decision for yourself and say, this is what I want to do?
Well, I mean, sorry, wow, asthma. I should have done my inhaler this morning. Albuterol, where are you when I need you? But yeah, I mean, I would like to say with this upcoming comeback, pretty involved, because I kind of told my team, I was like, hey, so I know we've been doing this, but what if we did this? I've been wanting to do this for a long time, so what if we went down this path? And the team was like, yeah, you know, like, it's about time. So, like, we started formulating ideas, and I think we have the song we're gonna do. So I think we have, like, conceptual visual ideas of how we want the music video to go and everything, too. So I'm very grateful and fortunate to say that I'm pretty involved with the comeback process.
When you're doing something like that, do you ever allow the music or what you may be into writing to do you write it around what that concept is? Like, how do they inform each other?
Well, I'd say specifically in our case with ZB Label, because we are a music video company, we are very visual focused. So before we receive a song or even like participate in a song camp or talk to writers, we formulate the next like plot line in the AleXa universe, because I do have like multiverses and multiverse of madness, all this chaos and everything going on in my timeline. But yeah, we focus very much so on what the next storyline is for AleXa. Like, what's gonna happen? Is there gonna be a fight? Is she gonna have internal struggles, external struggles? Is she gonna meet another version of AleXa? And so once we visualize conceptually what we want to do and the feeling that we want to express to the fans, that's when we start talking to songwriters and we're like, okay, this is what's gonna go down. Give us a song that expresses this feeling. And so thankfully, you know, we can go back and forth with songwriters, be like, hey, this sounds incredible, but what if we tweaked the bridge a bit and made it a bit more exciting or slowed this part down? So I mean, I'm just very fortunate that the teams that we work with are so adaptable and so willing to just, you know, have giant creative discussions just to make the best product possible.
Do you ever end up, say, adjusting something you might do vocally, considering the way the choreography may be on stage? Like, do you ever have to adjust, like, okay, this is going to be very heavily, like, this is a dance moment, I'm going to adjust what we're doing vocally here?
I will say, I think rather than adjusting things vocally, we adjust the performance. So like an example for Wonderland, originally we had choreography going, the whole thing, but I can't dance and maintain that high note. So that's why I had to kind of just stand there for the long yeah. But in regards to what we do in Korea too, with the comebacks and everything, I think we definitely alter the choreography more than the song itself, because we'll receive the song and then we'll receive the choreography. And of course they're gonna blend beautifully, but it's like, okay, I'm singing this live, where is it gonna be difficult for me to actually maintain breath support or something? So then we'll just change the choreography more so than the song.
Your participation was to Produce 48. How did that help or influence what you're doing now?
I see. Well, for Produce 48, that was my first like experience with like Korean broadcasting cameras. Because I mean, there are so many cameras when you perform with these music shows. Like, I don't think people understand, because when I was on American Song Contest and like these cute little artists that were like never been on TV before, whenever they had to like learn to find the cameras, it took me back to Produce when I was so lost. And I was like, what do you mean I gotta look at, no, but that one, the lights, this one, the lights on, not with, then the ones that move and the Jimmy chips and everything. It's so confusing. But definitely learning camera work, learning how to find the cameras, that has helped me tremendously in my career. Like when I first debuted, I was still pretty bad at finding cameras. Like the shot would be like up here, but I was looking over here, and it's like, well, now you know, but that's what practice is for. Yeah. Oh,
Thank you so much for your time.
thank you for your wonderful questions, for being so kind and welcoming. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you.